Utah Tech University students were invited to hear what the U.S. Supreme Court decision in overturning Roe v. Wade means now that the 50-year-old law has been abandoned and handed over to the states. In 1973, Roe v. Wade gave women protection under personal rights to choose to end a pregnancy. Since the decision was overturned in June of 2022, many have wondered if abortion is now illegal.
Federally wide, no, it is not illegal.
And so what's the current situation right now?
The current situation is certain states have enacted trigger bans to either outright ban it or have exceptions. The overturning of Roe v. Wade and the decision with Dobbs was leaving it back to the states, having the states decide rather than the federal government overreaching and deciding what laws might work in California and what laws might not work in Utah.
Right now it's legal, and that's because, as Gracie said, Utah is one of, we're saying 16 states at Planned Parenthood that enacted trigger ban or abortion bans of some sort post-Dobbs, right, which is the case that overturned Roe v. Wade in June.
Abortion in Utah can still legally be performed under a temporary restraining order filed by Planned Parenthood blocking enforcement of the state's trigger law, which bans abortion. With a preliminary injunction also being granted, abortions are only banned in Utah following 18 weeks of gestation.
Abortion is legal in Utah. One thing that changed is that another lawsuit we were involved in regarding an 18-week ban bill, we exited that lawsuit, so the 18-week ban bill went into effect.
In Utah, there were an estimated 3,000 abortions last year, which is considered lower than most other states.
In Utah last year, it was just under 3,000. I think it was 2,700 abortions were provided. Our patients made up a significant chunk of those at Planned Parenthood Utah. The majority of them are, nationally, the majority of people who get abortions are mothers. In Utah is just under 50%. We know that they're more likely to be low income.
Lowering abortions is something that is important to the pro-life cause, and I think Utah is one of those states. Like I said, it is under 3,000, so it still is high when you think about it. My graduating class wasn't even 3,000 people, so just putting that in amount of a year, it's a hard number to comprehend almost.
Kansas recently voted to protect their reproductive choice, which was a surprise to many in the politically red state, while abortions can resume up to 6 weeks in Texas under a temporary order following its ban. However, the question still remains, does a woman have the right to make her own decisions, or is it up to the government? While some question the authority of politics over personal privacy, others defend the action against taking another life.
Abortion is not a right. It is something that we have a privilege to, and it is you don't have the right to take another person's life, and I stand by that statement 100%.
If somebody wants to access medical care to manage their health, pregnancy being a health condition, they ought to be able to do that, right? And so I do think that we need to have the opportunity for our case to be heard.
The recent ruling has since led to protests, lawsuits, and even talk of felony action amongst those who might administer the procedures where it may be banned. The morning after pill, or Plan B, emergency contraception used to prevent pregnancy after unprotected sex, is still considered an option for many. And Plan C, or medication abortion, which is ordering abortion pills through the mail, from states like Michigan, have also become a very hot topic.
There's still questions about, I think everyone's still sort of parsing out all the aspects of Utah code when it comes to like all of the scenarios that could play out. So I would say right now, legal consideration is where I can answer, is what it's under for us, right? And Planned Parenthood would not provide that care.
Questions about what would constitute a legal abortion action despite bans include those who were raped, incest, or health problems at the detriment of the mother or unborn. Pro-choice supporters believe many impacted by the ruling will be lower income who can't afford to drive to another state to end unwanted pregnancies.
So women of color largely started abortion funds as a way to correct for the fact that they were not able to access abortion care in the way that people with more economic security or access to health care would.
Pro-Life Utah is working to try and help those mothers find other solutions.
But also, after the baby is born, they help the woman with finding housing support, medical support, all the support she might need, finding a job, and even continuing her education.
Both sides agree that education in contraceptives and preventing the pregnancy to begin with are well worth promoting. From Utah Tech University, Pizza and Politics, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.